Welcome to late night news from the pew. The late news from the pew, way past my bedtime. I am where the internet breaks and we try to put it back together again. I am your host, one of your hosts, Rick Barrett.
Better you are the host. I'm the color guy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and so we got stuff to talk about today. I'm joined as always by my good friend Steve Cunningham, and we have some things to talk about. So RFK is confirmed, Tulsi is confirmed, Cash Patel isn't confirmed. Trump is threatening to just take Gaza at this point, and the latest in the attempt to be transparent, but really it's the best dog and pony show that has ever really been created. That is this task force on the declassification of government secrets, or whatever you want to call it. The fact that anybody's taking this seriously is probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard of in my life. Because it's just like, folks, can you not say just wag the dog? That you don't need a task force to release documents. You just release the documents. That's all. But they got your little representative thought girl, Paulina Luna, dancing out there for all the thirsty GOP guys to be like, oh my gosh, she's so hot. Woo. And then it's just absolutely stupid. But well, that's pretty much the life we're leading today, is that we're dealing with a bunch of people who don't know any better, and they're so MAGA'd out that they think this is actually a good thing. And I don't really know where else to go with that, Steve, except the fact that they want to talk about JFK, RFK, and MLK, which is going to be kind of funny when it's like, yeah, the CIA killed all three, so case closed. I don't think you really need like a huge task force to talk about something like that. But, you could always listen to the representative herself.
Declassification of federal secrets has been organized under the House Oversight Committee and represents a historic step towards transparency and delivering answers to the American people.
I like how she's got the Spartan helmet behind her. Okay, honey, you're going into battle.
The American people information that for far too long has been kept under the federal government's lock and key through classification. Under Executive Order 1417-6, President Trump has directed the federal government to prepare reports regarding the declassification of records regarding the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. The task force will also examine agencies' knowledge and possession of documents regarding other areas of significant public interest, including UAPs, the origins of COVID-19, the Epstein client list, and details surrounding the death of Osama bin Laden in Operation Neptune Spear. Our first hearing is March and will focus on the assassination of President Kennedy. We have already engaged with relevant agencies to provide briefings this month regarding the universe of documents connected to these areas of interest. Upon receiving these briefings, we'll move immediately to review documents and, if necessary, earmark them for release to the American people.
Wait. Did you say if necessary? If necessary, just release the documents, homie. Like, what are you doing? That's not your job. Just let them out. But this is they're going to release a page a week so people can be distracted by it while they bomb Gaza, or they put in warp speed 3.0, or, whatever the case may be. This is the ultimate distraction technique. And I can't believe people they're just falling for it, man.
If you don't know, she's a Zionist who changed her name to hide her Jewish heritage and overseeing the JFK.
Yeah, Masonic Jew, right?
Yeah, and she was the cover girl. I think she's a stripper, or
she was a stripper. Yeah, yep.
And she was the remember that beer commercial thing from last year? She was that girl.
Oh yeah, yep.
But it goes back
at this point, Steve, real quick. They're all either like e-thoughts, actors, pump, or anything else. There's nobody actually elected in Congress right now. They're all funded by USAID in some point.
And even that, I mean, great googly moogly. I mean, I put it up on the thing the other day. I got the article up here. Here it is. CBS. USAID to be merged into State Department, 3 U.S. officials say. That was from last week, 10 days ago. I mentioned it a couple times on the the kind of hybrid Clown Planet News from the Pew show that I did. And you see it, everyone's like, oh, that's closed. Woo, win, W, baby. Rubio's running it. That's the deep state guy that Trump said was a puppet 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody likes
Marco with his little hands.
Little hand Rubio, who was unanimously elected or confirmed by the deep state Congress. And then Bernie voted for Rubio, and Bernie rode the boat over Tulsi, who Tulsi back and just stood up for, and she was the only one that stood up for Bernie during the presidential campaign, and he rolled the bus over her and back, said no to her. Talk about politics. That guy is supposed to be the I don't care about each party guy. He definitely cared about a single party. Talk about backstabbing, you know what. But yeah, man, I mean, people beforehand were going, oh, we're going to get the files, JFK, we're going to get, like he promised you the first time that happened, and you got all these black lines.
Yeah, you're going to get a blank page or just nothing but ink.
Oh, I got on this sheet of paper right here, I got a deed to a front lakeside property on Jupiter. If you just sign here, you can have it. I won't say
Elon will take you.
Elon will take you. That might not be in the future. It might be in the future.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly this whole thing, man. The more it goes on, and that's the Trump aficionados, the sycophants. They got their, they're just going to continue to push for no matter whatever it is. It's all going to be rah, everything's great. He can't do any wrong. This is just, how dare you question the narrative? I think when he did the thing with pennies, when he got rid of pennies, I'm like, guys, this is the first step to CBDC. I didn't even post it. In about 5 seconds in, somebody's like, Trump signed an executive order banning it, Rick. I was like, he also signed an executive order for a Federal Reserve Bitcoin.
Which is worse.
Which means you're going to put all your Bitcoin into the Fed Reserve, and then one day they're going to go, that's mine, and it's CBDC worse. Now.
Oh, so man, yeah, that you talk about a little sleight of everything's been a sleight of hand. Oh, by the way, you see Tucker?
No, what was he saying?
World Government Summit 2024. Tucker Carlson.
Oh yeah, good old Tucker. Don't buy some alpha from him. If
you think the deep state was defeated and all you had to do was pull a lever for the right team, and you can just watch as everything is made magically better and do nothing but trust the plan and enjoy the show, you probably confused what the deep state actually means with a wing of a uniparty that lost last year's election. Mass compliance at a time of drastic disruptive change is not a recipe for success. Vigilance and scrutiny matter, as does taking responsibility for your own life and community instead of placing all your hope for a better life and world in a government. Many of the people who used to distrust the system the most, and who have most citizen-held weapons, have been led to believe that they can fully trust everything happening and can let their guard down against tyranny. They may not physically come after your guns, but they can still attempt to kindly disarm the American people. And isn't it funny that the lady that going after the guns was the Florida girl that just got nominated?
Pam. Yes. Law and Bondi.
She's put this congressional thing around that look over October 7th. Wait a second. America first. Wait a second. Let's do Israel first. America first. No, Greenland. No, America. Ukraine. We're just not even a month in, and if you can't say, dude, this is not what we voted, because you still see people. I voted for this. Well, you voted for what?
Red, CBDC? White, and blue land. You voted for red, white, and blue land.
Yeah, that is the craziest.
You have that ready to go. I mean, this one's right up there with freedom fries. This one is right up there with like freedom fries and all this. Everybody. Here's the crazy thing: is the Gulf of America thing funny? Yes. Why are MAGA bros celebrating it so hard? Like, oh, Google changed it to Gulf of America. I don't care. I don't care if it's the Gulf of America or the Gulf of Mexico. But
I think outside of the United States, nothing changed for Google Maps or whatever. It's just But yeah, I thought that was a joke. Someone had a great line in the comments. Are we living in a South Park episode? We're gonna rename Greenland to Red, White, and Blue Land. Please, okay. Whoever says the adults are back, kick them in the you know what. That can't be real, and yet that's real. That's a real HR. That's not a spoof. I typed it in.
Nope, that's going to be somebody who's going to run back to their district and say, I helped Trump name Greenland Red, White, and Blue Land.
Remember the meme when they're sitting around and they have the guy ask a question? Why don't we just do this? And they throw the guy out the window. That's kind of what should happen to that guy in a sense.
Yep, that's exactly what it is in that regard. The fact that people are just,
check
everything he says. Everything he says, they can do no wrong. Whether it's AI, jab, or Gaza, and the Gaza thing is getting worse because Monday he's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna take it. We're just gonna take it. It's fine." And then all the Palestinians are gonna go. They're gonna go to a beautiful, wonderful place. Like you take the kids. It's like when you take the dog. You kill the dog, but you're like, "Oh no, we put the dog in the farm up in upstate. It's a beautiful farm he went to." And it's like, no, you killed him.
No, he doubled down to the point of, I'm surprised he didn't say kill them all. But do you remember the condom thing? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Watch. Here's DJT.
We identified and stopped $50 million being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. 50 million. And you know what's happened to them? They've used them as a method of making bombs. How about that?
They used them to make bombs, and they used. Remember that whole thing? You are fake news. It comes out that was Mozambique, Gaza in Mozambique, Africa. Nobody. And here's the. Oh, whoops! We're sorry. We got caught a thing.
Mr. Musk, you said on X that an example of.
By the way, here's President Musk answering the question.
Fraud that you have cited was $50 million of condoms was sent to Gaza. But after fact-check this, apparently Gaza in Mozambique, and the program was to protect them against HIV. So can you correct the statements? It wasn't sent to Hamas, actually. It was sent to Mozambique, which makes sense why condoms was sent there.
Yeah.
And how can we make sure that all the statements that you said were correct, so we can trust what you say?
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected.
That's a pretty big one.
So nobody's going to bat 1,000. I mean, we will make mistakes.
That means we lied out our butts. You caught us. So I'm going to try to use this weak excuse right here.
But we'll act quickly to correct any mistakes. If I'm not sure we should be sending $50 million worth of condoms to anywhere, frankly. I'm not sure that's something Americans would be really excited about. And that is really an enormous number of condoms, if you think about it.
I mean, everyone, their brother was going, look at that money. USAID said condoms. Nobody checked anything. They just automatically, hey, whatever I see, I'm going to brainlessly retweet. I'm going to send that like this. I'm going to make a video about it, how angry I am. Comes out the entire dog story was wrong.
I might have covered it too. So yeah, whatever.
Did you?
I might have covered it as well, but that's fine. Yeah, but the fact of the matter is that everybody's so daggone gung-ho with Trump that when he talks about Gaza, people are just okay with it. They're just okay with him being like, yeah, we're actually going to do it. We're actually going to do it. And the MAGA folks are going to be deployed. What's it? February in the summer when this takes place. And they're going to be like, guys, listen, taking over Gaza is a good thing. It's 5D chess. It's going to bring peace to the Middle East finally. Okay.
Well, first,
all right.
In 48 hours, we're recording this at 9:20 p.m. on the 13th of February. On February 15th, we're supposed to kill them all at noon.
Said before that the U.S. would buy Gaza, and today you just said we're not going to buy Gaza.
We're not going to have to buy. We're going to have Gaza. We don't have to buy. There's nothing to buy. We will have Gaza.
What does that mean?
No reason to buy. There is nothing to buy. It's Gaza. It's a war-torn area. We're going to take it. We're going to hold it. We're going to cherish it. We're going to get it going eventually where A lot of jobs are going to be created for the people in the Middle East. It's going to be for the people in the Middle East, but I think it can be a diamond. It can be an absolute tremendous asset for the Middle East. And you're going to have peace. It's going to bring peace in the Middle East. Gaza, the way it is right now, every 10 years, you're going to have the same thing happening. I've watched it so long, all the death and destruction of Gaza. The civilization's been wiped out in Gaza. No, it's going to be a tremendous thing. It's fronting on the sea. It's going to be a great economic development job. It's going to put people to work. A lot of.
Anyway, I went over this in that one video. Kushner's in charge of him on this. Bibi's got him doing his plan. He tells the Jordan president there, the Jordan president, he ain't going to take anybody. He takes anybody in. Guess who's dead? The Jordan president. And he did say he's going to take in some of the malnutrition that hurt children, which if they haven't killed all the kids yet, he'll take them in. But this is borderline psychopathic.
This is just asking, and this is the conspiracy theory that I'm going with, or the theory I'm going with, is that the U.S. always needs a sandbox to play in as far as their war toys. The military-industrial complex always needs somewhere to go. Under Biden, it went to the Ukraine. They were playing in the Ukraine. All their bombs, missiles, all that stuff all went over there. And with that one closing up, or at least apparently closing up or winding down, they need a new sandbox. Well, Trump looks like he's talking about going back into the Middle East, and that's going to be the sandbox for the next decade, where American troops are going to go in and the military industrial complex can make all kinds of money. And, once we get, so he's talking about beachfront properties. Do you know how many people have been massacred in Gaza in the last year? And you're talking about like condos,
thousands.
You're talking about condos, bro. And it's like, you're way off base on this one. Way off base on this one.
That was the jaw-dropping thing a couple of days ago when he first said it. I remember hearing going, did he really just say that? I got Judge Knapp, who's a friend of his. He's even saying this. Here, I'll play the kill 'em all speech.
Play that, sir. Should the ceasefire then be off?
Well, I would say this, and I'm going to.
He's invoking his Lincoln, by the way.
That's Israel's decision, but as far as I'm concerned, if all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all.
If you don't know, if anybody's listening, don't know, he put that negotiation together for help with that for the ceasefire, which hasn't stopped. I'll show you links on that. But he's now reneging on his own negotiation on the ceasefire. It's supposed to be 3 hostages. 3. That's it. Now he's saying if you don't give them all, well,
bets are off and let hell break out. I'd say they ought to be returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday, and if they're not returned, all of them, not in drips and drabs, not 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 2. Saturday at 12 o'clock. And after that, I would say all hell is going to break out. And I don't think they're going to do it. I think a lot of them are dead. I think a lot of the hostages are dead. I think it's a great human tragedy what's happened, how people can be that mean to do. I mean, the one guy was laughing when a hostage, he thought his family was alive, found out the family was dead, and his captor, so to speak, started laughing because he thought it was so funny. This is a different group of people. No, I would say Saturday at 12, we want them all back. I'm speaking for myself. Israel can override it. But from myself, Saturday at 12 o'clock, and if they're not here, all hell is going to break out.
Here's Bibi right afterwards.
מעמיק של 4 שעות בקבינט המדיני-ביטחוני. כולנו הבנו את העומק מהמצב המזעזע של 3 חטופינו ששוחררו בשבת האחרונה. כולנו גם בירכנו על הדרישה של הנשיא טראמפ לשחרור חטופינו עד שבת בצהריים, וכולנו גם בירכנו על החזון המהפכני של הנשיא לעתיד עזה. לאור הודעת החמאס על ההחלטה שלו להפר את ההסכם ולא לשחרר את החטופים שלנו, הנחיתי אמש את צה"ל לצבור כוחות בתוך
So they're already prepared to go in and kill everyone inside Gaza.
Let me preface these remarks with I never, ever believe Israeli figures. I've been in the government too long to know that the Israelis are patent liars in their intelligence community, in their propaganda community, certainly, and in their leadership. They are inveterate liars.
Netanyahu is scheduled to visit the White House. I don't know if there's going to be another crazy speech before a joint session of Congress where he gets 58 standing ovations in an hour, but he is scheduled to visit the White House next week. What does he want?
Well, I think there are two possible issues. One is Iran and the other is Gaza. And I think that what he will concentrate on talking to Trump about is Gaza. The Israelis have lost in Gaza. They have not defeated Hamas, and they have actually, with this ceasefire, agreed to evacuate Gaza. So the question is, what do the Israelis do moving forward? And what the Israelis want to do is they want to continue to pursue the goal of ethnically cleansing Gaza. And of course, it appears that Donald Trump is going to help them in this regard, because Trump has made it clear that he would like to empty out Gaza and push the Palestinians into Jordan and into Egypt. And this is music to Netanyahu's ears. This is what he's going to try to do now. Once again, Gaza is becoming an open-air prison. It's important to understand that. The Israelis are getting out, and it's an open-air prison again. And the question is, what do the Israelis do this time with the open-air prison? And they still want to cleanse it. And they're going to need help from the Americans to cleanse it, because there's no question that Gaza is now unlivable. From the Israeli point of view, they have to keep it unlivable, and if anything, make the situation worse so that the Palestinians leave. And they need Trump's help in that regard.
Do you think that Trump shares Joe Biden's contempt for the freedom, the personal liberty of the Palestinian peoples?
I think that there's not much difference between Trump and Biden on this issue.
Here's Egypt telling Rubio the Arab states reject Trump's plan to occupy Gaza. A little bit more on the ceasefire. They have killed 92 Palestinians since the ceasefire went in. So, you can always trust Israelis. This Gaza war was a lie, as was the ceasefire. Trump just told you. What was the other one? Israel, remember he just said Iran. Israel likely to bomb Iran in the coming months. That's pretty much their wet dream too. And because we got nothing else to do, we're in the Taiwan Strait for the first time. I thought he was the peace president.
Pieces of stuff falling all over the place, but that's about pieces of rockets flying down. But
great googly.
I mean, it's going to get feisty out there, and that's exactly why you're going to have the task force of releasing one page at a time being announced, so everybody focuses on that and not what's going on in Gaza, because nobody's going to care about that because Trump's in charge. And who told you? I'm going to say it one more time. I'm not pointing at Steve, I'm pointing at the audience. Who told you they would let Trump into office so that way they could continue their wars around the world while he does whatever he wants at home? I told you they were going to let him back into office to do that. That was going to be the compromise. The compromise was going to be, fine, you can, close down USAID or move it to the Pentagon or whatever the case you want to do. Let Elon Musk do whatever he wants, right? Lower the price of eggs. We don't care, as long as the machine gets to do its thing around the rest of the world. We'll even let you shut down the Ukraine-Russia war because that's a stalemate. You can't even get anything out of that anymore. We're not going to beat the Russians or anything like that, but let's go into Taiwan. Let's make Taiwan a hot issue, because they just said today, we're taking our chips back from Taiwan. We're not going to let Taiwan be the chip manufacturer anymore. Put the dots together on that. If we take all the chip manufacturing out of Taiwan, ladies and gentlemen, would it be a big deal if the Chinese roll in and take over Taiwan? Not anymore, because the big deal is they're our ally. But the big reason is, they're a major chip manufacturer. If they're no longer a major chip manufacturer and the Chinese roll in and take it, it's oh, well, so sad. That was, sucks to be you guys, and move on. Folks, that was the deal. I told you the deal. And Trump's a deal maker. And he's like, I'll take it. And then that's how it's going to happen. You don't like it. It doesn't sound nice, but that's what it is.
Here's Art of the Deal, page chapter 46, genocide. Oh,
is it in Jewish?
If they don't say yes, bomb them. Okay, that's the art of the deal. Everyone of their brothers like, maybe this is the art of the deal. That guy just said he was going to kill them all. How's that? I don't remember going into the orthopedic. You know what? I'm going to make a deal. All right. Buy my knee braces. I'm going to kill all you people in here.
I'm the best salesman there ever was.
Rip his arms off. Oh, you mean this gate key?
Yeah. Look, I found my credit card. It's right here. You take a check, post-date it. But
you mentioned Ukraine. Do you see the thing about the Graham from last year, and then what Trump said today about it?
No, remind me. This is last year.
This is 2024.
Ukraine is still standing. This war is about money. People.
Oh, Lindsay,
Ukraine
what is it, buddy?
This war is about money.
I can't. Doggone it. All right. Anyway, he talks about how there's all kinds of minerals and just the money in general for Ukraine, and that's going to be the most prosperous nation in Europe. Actually, I think he uses state. Speaking of that, notice how Trump called Egypt a state, Jordan a state, Iran a state, Israel a state. Listen, are they countries or states, or is that the same darn language? Just throwing that out there for anybody. They've been calling everywhere in the Middle East states for the last couple of days, but they said that we were not going to give any more money to Ukraine, right? They're not going to.
We're getting security on our.
I think my computer's crapped out.
So we're getting security on our money. We're going to have it secured by. They have rare earth, and they have oil and gas, and they have a lot of other things, and we're asking for security on our money. They've agreed to it. Ukraine has agreed to it.
Does it mean you are not sending any more aid to Ukraine?
No, we are, but we want it secured, and the money is going to be secured.
When will the U.S. stop sending funding? When will the U.S. stop sending?
Because if we didn't do that, then Putin would say he won. We're the thing that's holding it back, and frankly, we'll go as long as we have to go, because we're not going to let the other happen.
Ukraine is still standing. This war is about money. People.
Nope,
not going to let me play.
Yeah, but I think 500 million or something, 500 billion or something like that in rare earth minerals or whatever, which is the same thing he's trying to do with red, white, and blue land. So it's like
Greenland, Panama.
No, it's red, white, and blue land, Steve. Get it
red,
right.
White, blue land. Forgive me. RWB, if you nasty.
Rear wheel drive land.
But look at all the other lands the last couple. We brought up last time about the land grabs. North Carolina, California knows how to party. All these they always bring that up. The minerals, all the land that they're everything's a land. Gaza's a land grab, real estate land grab. The mineral they burn that thing down. They probably have some really nice property out there on the top of the bones of all those kids. I mean, we're so pro-life, we'll bomb the crap out of all these kids. By the way, in case you just said they're just Muslims, there's plenty of Catholics out there too. So you're cheering for the death of your brothers.
The Palestinian Christians, Bethlehem is in Gaza, folks.
That was 2 years ago. They bombed Israel, bombed the convent, blew it. The kingdom come.
Remember, the Pope actually called it out. That was one of the few times Pope Francis called it out, and all of Catholic YouTube.
Yeah, he's been really good on the going after the as he called it, a Holocaust that Israel's doing. Nobody else is backing him up. The only time the YouTubers are bringing anything up is if they don't like USAID, the immigration thing. Which, I mean, really, you're just as bad as the bishops. That's the only thing you can focus on. We're at Operation Warp Speed 2.0 on day 2. We got hidden cultural genocide, which all you guys can say is maybe this is the art of the deal. Really, that's the best y'all got. Hey, yeah, you got Jack. He's over there in Ukraine. He can't stop taking selfies. He takes more selfies than the 14-year-old girls do. Hey, just walk around. You know what? I need to take a photo of my face. What?
It's just good promotion for the book, Steve. Come on. You take selfies to make sure that you let people know. Let them know, man. Let them know.
You said RFK got confirmed, and
yep,
Maha,
RFK and Tulsi. So 2 Democrats are now running your Republican. And let's be real. I'll say it again. People don't like it. He is the most pro-abortion HHS secretary that Republicans have ever put into office.
I don't know. I mean, because he's not one to, unless he changes now. He has flip-flopped on Operation Warp Speed, because if anybody watched him in the
confirmation
hearings, he talked about how it was a great thing that happened. Like, whoa, what? Huh? Time out. That's not the RFK I heard. Mm-hmm. And then he said something. He would not do anything with the vaccine schedule. Huh? That's the whole thing about the CHD, the Children Health Defense thing. It's about that. And he's on record. He's on video talking, just going after vaccines and all this. Now all of a sudden he's pro-vax. Did he lie just to get in? Trump tell him to lie? What happened? I don't know. There's something's fishy about that. I don't think anything that he says is going to happen beforehand will happen. Maybe I'll prove wrong. I love to be proved wrong, but I don't buy it. Nothing in the last month has been.
You mean ever since he got sworn in?
Literally right off the bat. I mean, here's an example. Here's the guy that spoke on day 2.
Yep.
Will it play?
Look at him. Just doesn't even matter. Look at him.
Improve population health, you have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records, your genomic data. And in the Middle East, in the UAE, for example, they're incredibly rich in data. They have a lot of population data. The NHS in the UK has an incredible amount of population data, but it's fragmented. It's not easily accessible by these AI models. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified data platform, so we provide context when we want to ask a.
That's the guy, the $500 billion AI cancer jab thing that went down day 2 that nobody's really still talking about. We're winning. We got plastic straws back. Yay. Jab.
Yeah, great. Now the turtles have something better to choke on instead of that good old American plastic. I get it, folks. It's the Indians. It's really the Indians that are putting the plastic in the water, not us. But I'm dead serious. But anyway, yeah.
See if this happens. I mean,
if that happens, then that's a huge win.
But then what happens if he joins and then says, "Well, I want to do this," and they go, "No, you can't do that." No.
You're designed to just go out there every day and tell them the stuff we want, all the good things we did, or even just make it up or whatever the case may be.
Because Dr. Paul's on record, get rid of the Fed. End the Fed. You think they're going to
audit it? End it. Rand was the one who wanted to audit it. His father wanted to end it.
Yeah, they say they're planning on auditing now, and there's
auditing the IRS
doesn't have any authority. And people are going like, "What? I can't believe you're saying this stuff." When you have a group like this who's unelected, Elon. Last I checked, you didn't elect Elon, right? He's not an elected official. You can't get rid of him. The only way you can do it is if Trump tells him to leave. So you got an unelected guy pretty much running the show. So how's that going to be any different if, say, Michelle comes in 2028?
Big Mike isn't. No, it's not going to be Big Mike. It's going to be President AOC.
Or AOC, either way. And she has, or he has, or at the time, I don't know, George Soros as the guy right next to her running the thing like that. If you're okay with this, you're going to end up taking it like that afterwards. And you just set this gigantic precedent, because 4 years later, another team's coming in and they're going to do the exact same stuff. All those EOs that they came out with, gone.
Did I say this in the show? What happens from President AOC does 56 executive orders on her first day. Trump did 21. I'll do 56. and then the next guy does 100, and then there's no more Senate anymore. Who cares? And then we're gonna have the scene from Star Wars: in order for the security of the empire, unlimited power.
Maybe that does make us, finally break away. Maybe that does finally break up the union for the first time. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you got to admit, if we're okay with this, then you're going to have to be okay when the other team does it, which you're not going to be okay with, because you're not okay when Brandon does it, when he did it.
And I've said it before. I think I've even said it here. Let's just move. I know we said, oh, we don't want the elect. Let's just move to an elected king. Instead of doing a third term, just let whoever's in, just let him be there forever. Just let him
give
stay
him time.
there.
He'll put himself in a little bit. I mean,
just keep whoever's in there forever. I'm done dealing with this every 4 years. I'd rather just have one person be like, okay, it's Trump. Now it's Don Jr. Now it's Laura Trump. Now it's whoever. Now it's Barron for 1,000 years. Like, who cares? It's Lisa Alagaev.
They'd have to raise the walls if Barron's in there because he's 25 feet tall.
Who cares at this point? I'm done worrying about.
But hey, at least we can all agree on this.
Vote for John Cornyn or Ted Cruz means anything.
At least we can all agree on this. This is the most exciting first month of presidency ever. I mean, it's doggone entertaining. I mean, all this stuff coming out. It was just like during the election cycle there. I mean, were you not entertained during that whole thing? And people get shot, things like boom, blows up, and people go in there, lady drunk, all this going on. Now you got it on roids. It's almost like a 2.0 system. What is he going to say now? Maybe he's going to kill Canada, which he's saying that Canada's going to be a 51st state. Like, and all the cheerleaders.
He's going to bring in red, white, and blue land, Panama, Texas South, which is going to call Panama Canal, Panama, Texas South. We're going to bring in, what was another one? Gaza, where we're going to put in a Buc-ee's, a Texas Steakhouse, and a Walmart.
Maybe the Raiders will be out there.
Like, if we take over Gaza and name it Bucky Land, I'm pretty cool with that. Either that or Baldwin the Fifth, or we'll just call it Baldwin. I don't really care about any of this other stuff. And you're right. The fact that they are continuing to just cheerlead this every single day he signs an executive order. It's honestly, it's like perfect synopsis. And then Trump signed another executive order. It's Monty Python from the Holy Grail. Yay! And then he signed an XO on this. Yay! And then the Democrats didn't support it. Boo! It's just every single day, man. I mean, I do a nightly show. It's just for entertainment. When I tell people trying to break, and you have people like Tim Cass and all these other guys, and like Charlie Kirk and all these. Every day is like Christmas to them. Oh, we got Tulsi in. Yeah. It's like, you mean the lady that didn't renounce being a Democrat? She said, I'm always wary. And I was just talking to a great guy, Reed Cooley, who is on my show, my Rickcast show. Big thank you to Reed for being on my show, taking the time. I'm always wary of people that say, well, the Democratic Party left me. So that kind of leaves out there, if the Democratic Party comes back, you'll just jump right back in lockstep with them. I haven't seen Tulsi give up her pro-abortion stance, her pro-gun. Oh, she put on a kit and ran a staccato, and, without a shirt on, got all sweaty. So all the gun guys are just drooling over it. I can't, between her and Rep. Paulina and, Gun Bunny Bobart and all these other women that they're bringing out, and then all the guys are just like, oh, you're so great, I can't believe they're just saving America. Shut up, you bunch of thirsty losers. You a bunch of thirsty losers. You're being led by women. And that's not how it's supposed to be, man. Of course, they're all setting it up. I'll finish on. They're setting it up for Queen AOC. When Queen AOC is leading everybody, be like, oh, she's so pretty. The BBL.
Tulsi is a young leaders of WEF. Just like, I mean. In her, the pro-abortion stance for her, it doesn't matter in her position. Just an RFK, he's. I mean, even
no, I mentioned it because they'll be like that when it comes back. When the Democratic Party comes, they haven't given up those positions, which means they will go back to the Democratic Party when it's convenient.
That was one thing funny about
or they moved the Overton window over that Republicans don't care anymore. Remember, Republicans dropped it from their platform.
And that was the funny thing about RFK. He's a Democrat guy, and then all the Democrats voted against him. Well, in not New Hampshire. Here's North Dakota.
Oh yeah, the great state of North Dakota.
I mean, again, it goes back to I do not care what RFK's thoughts on that. Tulsi's, Trump's. They have zero authority on that. It's to the it should have been to the state. It should have never left the states when it should have been nullified when in 73, but no one had the guts to do it. And it's like this. Every state could go out and kill it right now, no pun intended, and just ban it across. And if people don't like it, people in North Dakota want to kill kids, they have to move somewhere else. Not saying that's okay, but then the people that live there right now, like New York or something like that, because I think Louisiana, somebody went from Louisiana to New York. A mother called a doc up there to give her some pills to kill the kid, and I think it was Louisiana's charging the doc for murder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're in New York, and the doctor won't be, and Kathy Hochul is shielding her from that. So
I mean, it's states acting like states again. You protect your own. This is our border. I mean, it's funny how the people that are upset about, like the Holy Father saying about open borders, stuff like that. But no, you're for open borders inside this union. You're for destroying all the lines of each state and having one centralized It's a communistic mindset to have one. Communism needs a big centralized government to run. You have that thing like that, which is what Engels and Marx wanted from the beginning, from all this stuff, and you're playing in their hands. That's the same darn thing mindset you had, with it. If you don't like communism, you should be like Vivek talking about, we should mandate that the pledge should be in every school. First off, the free schools are a 10th plank of the Communist Manifesto, and the pledge is a socialist pledge. Thank you, conservatives. Hey, put your arm out like that too when you say the pledge.
You used to. I mean, might as well. Everything old is new again at this point.
That's
Vivek on his redemption arc after putting his foot so far in his mouth he could actually feel his heart with it. But now he's trying to get back in good graces. But it's pathetic at this point. But that's exactly it, Steve. You have, did you hear about how what was it, Denmark or Norway, whoever owns red, white, and blue land, offered to buy California for like $1 trillion? They're like, we are going to buy California for $1 trillion. And it's like, boys, and they're like, we're gonna bring universal health care and all the fun things. And some people are like, please buy California and then try to bring universal health care to Oakland, because you guys would be like, what is this?
We didn't know it was this bad.
Yeah, can we have it back? Buyer's remorse.
Is there a receipt?
Yeah. But it's
speaking of buying,
so much stuff. See, this was done. I will say this was done under Biden. This order was put in under Biden. So the people who say it's a conflict of interest, maybe, but it's not like Trump got into office and put this order in.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, there should be. Folks, I would be the first one to call it out. But this was done under Biden. Biden put this order in, which is even crazier that Elon Musk would back Trump when it's like he had a $400 million contract guaranteed if he stayed with this. I mean, that's the crazy thing, is that Elon didn't lose either way. He wouldn't have lost either way. I know people are like, oh, what about X and all this other stuff? X and Tesla, you need to look at it this way. X and Tesla, Elon Musk has the largest database of AI data that you could have on the planet. People using X constantly, and Gronk. By the way, full disclosure, I use Grok to put my YouTube descriptions together because I'm lazy. But the language learning model that Gronk is putting together through the constant, how many you tweet, I tweet, there are people here tweet, everybody who tweets, that Gronk AI is developing at. Every person who lets the AI car drive is collecting data. The camera that's pointing at your face in your Tesla is gathering data. All of this stuff is gathering data. He has the largest. Everybody's worried about Bill Gates' AI and this guy's AI. And Elon Musk surpasses everybody when it comes to the data that is built up. Because how long has Tesla been around with their cars before they were self-driving? Even just the regular driving, they're gathering data. Now he has Twitter and all that data that he's gathering from that, plus any of the other companies that he's using, that he's gathering. Starlink is gathering data. Starlink's a great thing, by the way. It helped out the people in Western North Carolina and all this other stuff. I mean, there are advantages to it. I mean, do you see the Super Bowl commercial? T-Mobile, which I'm a member of, you can now directly link your cell phone your cell phone to the Starlink satellite. You know, do you think that Elon Musk is not going to be like, oh, that's great. Now that I have access to your cell phone, I'm gonna just take everything that's in there. It's like, yeah. Anyway,
he also
if you think I have energy right now, you can thank my knickknacks, because that's the only thing that's giving me energy right now. So that's my.
Well, he owns 2/3 of the satellites in the sky.
Are the Elons?
Elon does, and obviously they're like Derek Bros writes, which I love Derek's writing, except he's just a moron when it comes to religion.
I love how he writes at a 5th grade level.
Yeah, he's awesome when he writes. He's just so bad, just pathetically bad when it comes to that. But he has an article about how Elon's creating a thing where you'll always be surveilled. I mean, it's literally going to always be there.
Everybody talking about they don't want to live in a place like London where it's constantly surveyed. Folks, you're getting real. You buy a Tesla, the Tesla automated taxi is slated to start going out union wide by the end of this year. They're going to have, because right now I think to use the self-driving feature in Teslas, you have to keep your eyes on the road. They're going to release something by the end of this year where you don't have to look at the road for the car to drive. Now, for somebody like Rick, who's kind of lazy, I might like that. When I drive to North Carolina, I could kind of sleep in the back while Tesla takes me where I want to go. But that's also real bad.
Speaking of UK government, fast track and build and monitor bank accounts, revoke licenses, and search homes.
Yeah. I mean, Bank of America. Speaking of Gulf of America, people were selling Gulf of America t-shirts. Bank of America suspended their account. This was like a week after they came out to Trump was like, Bank of America, you're not very nice to conservatives. And they were like, yes, we are. And then they suspended these people.
Yeah, when you brought up Starlink, I had to find this. Polly St. George had a great one. She's from Amazing Polly. Yeah, Elon, space can offer the ultimate weapons where you can just have tungsten cannonballs from orbit. That's what I mean by rods from God, or space-based lasers. Stargate's system technically does not have lasers, but they're low power lasers for now. And she goes, but Starlink is for fast internet. So that was the thing. You brought up North Carolina. They were getting Starlink all over the place.
Stargate.
And all that was just collecting everyone's data, getting into satellites. Again, creating that digital prison. Do I need to? Let me go. I'll go ahead and get it right here. There's the biometric prison.
We will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately.
People,
that you will have digital ID, obviously before in the end of this 4 years. I might bet to the end of this year.
I think early next year. You think
2025?
First quarter 2026.
I'll put a Waffle House egg on because eggs anymore is that's when you get somebody for Valentine's Day, you get a thing of eggs.
No, you can get eggs at the Waffle House, just cost 50 cents more.
I know.
Which means your meal went from $12 to $12.50. So it's really not that big of a deal. Waffle House, by the way.
You missed all the memes where they're proposing with the egg and all that.
Yep. Hey, I mean, that's what happens when you kill like 50 million chickens. The price tags go up.
Now they're going after the cows, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I would be very highly confident before Doge goes away in 2026. I'm thinking this year you'll have digital ID, and people will love it. Speaking until he comes back, here's a little.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh.
Yep.
Here's a thing that 7C's put up 10 years ago. The WEF revealed the method, a digital blueprint for digital identification. Here's almost 10 years ago, initiatives were started with a majority of companies and banks with a direct partnership to implement various forms of digital ID and KYC. And you can read it for yourself if you like. Even break down some of the companies serve as cogs in the digital ID space, with the oversight and coordination to ensure that all these entities are working in tandem. And they've been going on for a while. There's the WEF PDF if you ever want it. I'll put it in the chat right now if you guys want to. If you get bored and want to look at it.
If If you need something to put you to sleep, here you go.
Maybe Rick can record it in his deep voice.
You want me to read digital ID, page 1.
You can read it like Trump.
Digital ID, we desperately need it. We desperately need this. Yes, we do. My family won't get it, but yours will. Yeah, it will. It's okay. You'll like it. It's fine. Don't worry. But yes, we have that expansion of that, but don't worry, because the Department of Education is supposed to be closed down sometime soon, or FEMA is supposed to be shut down sometime soon, or we have the IRS going to be audited sometime this next week, or whatever the case might be. And we get into these stupid little arguments about, and I'm sorry, it's a kid's name, Big Balls or whatever, this kid. Oh, we fired him. Oh, we brought him back. Yay, we've gotten rid of cancel culture. It's like, I don't care if this kid gets fired or rehired. I don't care about any of that, man. It doesn't do anything for me. It does nothing for me. I don't care. I want to be left alone. I want the state of Texas to be able to break away and get out. Did you hear this one where New York City Mayor Eric Adams, he's going to allow ICE agents to operate on Rikers Island, and the case against him is being dropped. Isn't that kind of cute how all that happens? Yeah. I think Brian BK has been talking about that in the chat. He talked about it during my show and I kind of ignored him, so I wanted to make sure I talked about it here. Yeah. His case against him is getting dropped, and in return they get to use Rikers Island. Trump even floated the idea in one of his rambles about reopening Alcatraz. He just wants to open up all the prisons. I think he watched The Rock that night. He's like, I just saw this movie called The Rock. We should really open Alcatraz again.
That's what someone asked the judge, was that did Trump think about what he said about Saturday at noon? And he goes, no. He goes, I know him personally. He goes, if you look how he spoke that out, that was shot from the hip when he said 12 o'clock at noon. He just made up a number out of the air. But this was from 2 weeks ago.
This is an executive order. Discharges your Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, and your Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick.
By the way, Scott Bessent is a Soros guy. You haven't figured that out.
To begin a process that will hopefully result in the creation of an American sovereign wealth fund.
It's a very exciting event. We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. We have a lot of things that create wealth, and you're seeing that over the last 2 weeks. I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth, the people, my predecessors. We're creating a lot of wealth. Scott, maybe you'd like to say something about it, and I'd ask also Howard to say something about it.
Yes, sir. This is very exciting. We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going to put the assets to work, and I think it's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices as done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
The extraordinary size and scale of the U.S. government and the business it does with companies should create value for American citizens. If we are going to buy 2 billion COVID vaccines, maybe we should have some warrants and some equity in these companies and have that grow for the help of the American people. So I bring all these things together. I think Scott and I will create an amazing sovereign wealth fund for you, sir.
Remember, that's to the screen's left, to Trump's right, is the Soros guy. It's like Soros's former right-hand man.
Yeah, but Doge.
Hey, we got plastic straws back, though. Don't win, baby.
Yep, we're back, man. We are back. We're so back, baby. I'm so tired of hearing that phrase. I'm so tired. We are not back. We are not back in any way, shape, or form. It's so.
We just got to get you the new map of the North American Union, which has Greenland, Panama, and all the future Gaza.
Gaza, yeah.
Maybe the Atlantic Ocean is changed to Trump Ocean.
Oh, your boy Marshall put out a tweet. He's going to rename it East America Ocean.
East America Ocean.
I mean, if we're going down, if this plane's going down, we might as well have some fun while we do it. So you might as well laugh along the way to our future enslavement of things and such.
But you know, and one of the things, if people are watching this, if you're like the books I'm reading from the 1860s, everything you read about the winners of that war of Lincoln's is exactly what's going on now. Business, money, all they care about is the bottom line. That was the exact same mindset they had back then. We don't like these Southerner agrarians who are taking leisure and actually are more wealthy than us, but they don't work as hard or work as long as us. And because remember I told you the slaves actually work less than the people up in the Northeast. But you see, everything's about money. The bottom line. Look at what this wealth group, Wall Street. Because if they go into war if they go in and do something in the Middle East, which they probably will, you're going to see the economy just tank. And then people are like, well, the economy is tank. Wall Street. Wall Street guys aren't affected like we are. When you guys, every one of us are struggling with groceries, go to the grocery store, you get $150 worth of groceries, and you still see the bottom of the cart. You're like, $150 used to be a whole thing of maybe 2 carts. And those guys up there, they don't give a rat's. I mean, you see these $45,000 on 45,000 points on the Dow, all that stuff. I mean, nothing's changing for them. Oil's going to go sky high.
Yep.
It's going to get nasty.
Especially after
those guys are not going to be affected.
In the Middle East. When it pops off in the Middle East. So, yeah. But that's folks, that's par for the course. That's your boy, DJT, and the family Trump is doing all the right things to distract you. So that way you don't really care about what's happening everywhere else.
Before we close up, I'll put up everyone's favorite Catholic JD. And
you went to Notre Dame, man. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, he did the AI speech in France, which it was a good speech. If you listen to it, it's very, as Charlie Trump Kirk said, it was pure fire. But if you listen to it, I wrote on here. I mean, I heard 4IR. I heard the Fourth Industrial Revolution. He mentions Fourth Industrial Revolution. He talks about that. It was funny how he brings up the going to school to be productive workers. He literally talks about going to school to be productive workers in a 13-minute mark. And that's what the whole thing about going to the communists were talking about going to school. I'm not saying that JD's a commie, but I mean, the mindset you've been indoctrinated for years, you go to school to learn how to work instead of doing anything else. Is you got rid of home ec, but you go to school, you sit there for 8 hours, you sit there at desk. That was the whole thing, to train kids to be good, obedient workers in the buildings, not question authority, not doing. That's probably why I suck right now, because my wife you always go after question authority. Yes, just I cannot group think. And I mean, obviously this different Catholic is a little bit different, but when it's something like this, or everyone's going, hey, let's go to the Superdome. I'm that guy in that photo. Wherever go this way. I'm not, wherever this group is going, I ain't going. I'm going to somewhere else. Yeah. But yeah, he talks about, we're going down the Great Reset with a MAGA hat on.
Which is why they wanted Trump in.
Yep.
Which is, Steve and I told you, it's going to be a close race. No, it's not. It's not. Trump will go in and he will do everything they need. He'll do a couple things here and there for his legacy, but most of it will be fine.
Well, I've been playing with your pen all day, so it's.
Hey, look at that!
21
might be an antique because I'm working on a new name, so we'll see how that works.
Yeah, this might be worth something down the road then.
Yeah, right. It's just, the fact is L1121, and I found this at the conference. Everybody was great at the conference, but they were always like, "What does it mean?" I'm like, "Y'all don't know your Bible? It's Luke 11:21." Oh, and so I had to. So I'm debating. I actually got some good ones. I got a poll up if you go on my X page, guys. I got 4 names right now that I'm looking to possibly. Let me see if I can find them. I want to give a shout out to Catholic Comedy because he gave me a really good one, which I was pleasantly surprised with. So I'm looking Cristero Protections, Vonde Strategies, personal favorite of mine, Temperance Tactical and Cloak and Dagger Strategies. Those are some of the names I'm floating around to kind of.
TT, Temperance Tactical, TT.
Well, I mean, I talk about the 4 cardinal virtues in all my talks. I don't know. I might turn it into like cardinal virtue strategies or something like that, so because to try and get the point across. But Temperance Tactical actually really might be a good one that works. I think that kind of gets the point across a lot, but we'll see. Anyway, that's completely off topic. The conference was a great time, and I got to see Steve, and then I got to go to a Byzantine Rite mass last Sunday.
Liturgy.
Really cool.
Not a mass, it's liturgy.
Whatever, dude. I don't know. I went to it. It was a lot of fun. They don't do masses. I'm sorry. Ooh, it's the first time I've ever been there, man.
Precision. Which is, everyone. There's a guy online going after. I think it's a priest, taking people off, saying that they get rid of the bells because it's old and antiquated. Now in the new rite, you don't need it because of the whole participation thing. But if you notice, you didn't hear a bell before the consecration.
Nope. It was awesome though. That was pretty cool, man. I really enjoyed it. If there was one around me, I would totally go to them.
Just imagine if that had icons all around instead of.
I know. And like those there's a YouTube page of these Byzantines somewhere in Appalachia, and they do the Vespers and everything. They stream them every day. So if you're looking into something like that, no kneeling either, no holding hands. It was actually a lot of fun. And how they take their version. What did they call communion or the spread or?
Well, you have intinction. That's communion. It's intinction with the spoon.
Yeah.
And the standing is standing at attention. You're not just standing hungover, standing at attention. That's the form of prayer. Because if you read like John Climacus, you'll hear about monks just leaning against the wall, sleeping, or trying to stay awake, or tying their hair against the wall so they don't fall over. I still don't understand the bread part at the end. Father's told me about it, and I'll joke with people that are first timers. Go, hey man, you just took communion in the hand, and it's not. I scandalized my wife one time when I told. She goes, what are they doing? I go, it's just blessed bread that they didn't have consecrated. So it's a little ritual inside there, and the kids of mine haven't had first communion, so they go up there and get the bread and reverent the cross and all that. And,
John Frankman, who I was with, he looked at me at that point. I'm like, bro, I don't know what's going on right now. I have no idea what's going on, dude. I'm just happy to be here. So it was funny. With the spoon and everything, that was pretty neat. But I thought it was very cool. I'm glad I went to one. I'm glad I
know diocese priests that used intinction. That's what that is, intinction. They use that to end up training the laity to receive on the tongue for the rest of the time. And now they banned, they have communion in hand gone in their parishes because they use that tactic. And it's not common, but you see people, they've done it before.
I think it's very cool. I enjoyed it immensely. Like I said, now that I know that most of them, I heard not all of them, but most of them are in communion with Rome. So
you just got to look at the right one. If it's a Byzantine, Ruthenian, Maronite, Faraz is, I think Faraz is a Maronite and goes back, I think it is. You have to ask him. But if you go to the first week of Lent, and that's when they do the anathema chants, when they call anathema. That's what, if you heard at the sermon at the end, Father says, bring your heresy with you, because that's 7 minutes of anathema. Just, and the whole room's just going, anathema, anathema.
No, I dug it, man. That was, I really I find all, if it's in communion, I think it's beautiful. The whole, I like the whole, let us be attentive now and stuff like that. I thought that was very, very, like I said, dug it immensely.
It's always funny that they don't stop, no silence in the liturgy, but they always, outside of liturgy, they talk about silence all the time in the reading of the saints and all that. It's silent, silent, silent. But in the liturgy, ain't no silence.
No, not at all. Not at all. But I don't even know I don't know how we got into this, but talking about my pen. But yes, it was a great time. Met a lot of great people up there. That'll be my saint of the week, is everybody who attended the conference and getting to see Steve and the guys at Avoiding Babylon, Fawaz. It was great to see Rob. John Frankman, and of course my buddy Jason, and just all the people that came there, and we had a great time. The conference was a smashing success, and yeah, it was great to have all y'all there and be a part of it. So it was a good time. So let's see. Is there? You're gonna have BK. You're gonna have to tell me more about that. That might be a solution to some problems. Well, sometimes I just can't get up to Waco for the Latin Mass. Austin may be a little better on Sunday morning sometimes, but anyway, my cry room, I had it saved. There's enough to go around in the cry rooms. So this is not being crude. I want everybody to understand this is an actual written law that's being proposed in Ohio and in Mississippi. And it's actually kind of based, but liberals being stupid enough because they're trying to fight back against the ripping away of protections for women's rights, the right to kill babies and stuff. So this very ugly woman in Ohio has decided to create a law, and this is the written law. So I am not making anything outside of this, but if you have kids around or anything listening, earmuff them for the next 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The law is called the Conception Begins at Erection Act, and the bill satirizes abortion laws, saying non-precreative seed is a crime, which is like, okay. So you mean the marital act should only be the marital act? Cool, man, that's fine. But the reason they're in the cry room is they're so stupid that they think this is a bad thing, that they're wasting all this time to actually do it. And while Republicans and conservatives are like, it's the meme where they say, you're going to have to do this. And then the Chad walks over and goes, agreed. So what's DJ Khalid when he's like, you played yourself? And that's pretty much why they're in the cry room.
My cry room will be, if you haven't watched the show that I did late Saturday, I did that at 12 midnight Saturday night last week. Talked about Miriam Adelson and others. She's the one that gave $100 million for Trump to annex the West Bank, which is going through all right now. So when someone says this is our deal, that's going down. Also, this week, hey, we won. We got Fort Bragg back. Wrong Bragg. We got had.
Now there's a reason for it. Because there actually can't, because the GOP participated in during the Summer of Love. There's a law that you can't actually name them after Southern generals.
That's the law.
There's something in there. There's actually look into it a little bit more. You can't actually name them. He couldn't actually name it after Baxter.
So what, he should have gone with a different name then, instead of messing with everybody, because I had no clue about that law.
See.
I don't know anybody I know of except you on this one. Not saying you're wrong, but they should have named it something else then, instead of teasing people. Oh, Fort Bragg's back. No, that's a different Bragg. Either way, it's cry room material.
It still is. I agree.
Yeah. While he's looking it up, I'll go with the saint of the week is a principal here in Charlotte, North Kakalaki.
You said you're telling the teachers that they're loved, they're appreciated. They don't feel that way. You can say that, but I can tell you they do not feel that way. There's a culture problem. And
I agree with you. There is a culture problem.
Right, and that needs to be addressed like today.
There's a culture problem right here.
So the context of what's going on is it's Charlotte Catholic, all right? It's kind of like a very cheap private school. And you got girls running around in short skirts and the dance, all the stuff that goes on is not exactly a Catholic high school. I know priests that used to teach there, trad priests, even my Byzantine priest friend, he was over there too helping, and they all ended up having to get out. They all ended up being pretty much kicked out. They had a Dominican nun come down to speak, and they almost crucified her for her speaking Catholic stuff in a Catholic high school. There's a Muslim, I'm told, I think my wife told me that, teaching sacramental class at that high school. So it's about as Catholic as I'd say if Waffle House came out and said I was Catholic or anything like that.
Hey, don't besmirch the Waffle House. Waffles.
Right. We'll just say in name only. It's Catholic, but it's really just for the jersey. So the principal is having having some kind of meeting, and the people are upset about the culture. There's a problem in the culture there, and she goes, "There is. I'm looking at it. They fired her." So I put it out as the saying of the week for having the stones to call that out, because there's these people. I mean, she's not dressing them in house. All these people want is to be able to have their kids go to a big 4-year college like UNC or Duke or whatever. They care less about the faith in this. And as she said, there's a culture problem. It starts at home, and she blamed them, and they ended up forcing her to resign the next day. So good on her, I think.
Yep. Give me 2 seconds. I think I found it. Here we go. So check this out. I'm going to share the screen. So this is from Stars and Stripes. About 1 year before Congress approved the controversial plan, a little-known amendment was included in the 2020 NDAA, effectively barring the Pentagon officials from naming any military assets for anyone or anything associated with the Confederacy. So
you had to do a short clip on that and post that around, and I know people will send that around for you.
But so that's I know we wish they could, but they literally cannot do it. So
do whatever else they want to do. All of a sudden now they care about the law.
Yeah, now they care about the rules. But technically, I know Hexx got a lot of crap for it. But within this context, he actually couldn't. And I agree, he should have named it for something else so you don't get the brag. But the argument for it was the name brag has such a history with like the SOF guys and everything else that it made sense kind of just to at least bring back the brag. Because nobody ever, like the Army guy, the military guys, I was training a guy, I was doing LTC for somebody in January. Right before Trump came, it was like January 1st or 2nd or one of those weekends. And it was a military guy, and he was transferring from Hood up to Bragg. And then he's like, I was like, oh, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to North Carolina. I went, you going back to Bragg? He goes, yeah, I'm going to Bragg. Because nobody ever called it whatever. Just like they don't call Cavazos, they call it Hood. So
I still call the Redskins the Redskins.
Yeah. So it's the whole thing is that, you can't get what it was, but at least the name for the guys in it, they can still say it's Bragg or whatever the case may be. So there's that. So there you go, folks. Actually,
did my end lose you? You just cut yourself off? You just muted yourself.
I was so excited that my computer was like, don't get too cocky. So there you go there, folks. Yeah. So we got it in. We got our news from the pew in, folks. After dark news from the pew. After
Valentine's Day edition.
Next time when we do one of these, I'll make sure I change my background to all candles, just so that way to get the true feeling of like, being there. But anyway, folks, thank you, Steve, for hanging out with me tonight and putting up with me. I was like, yeah, we should do one. I don't know how long it'll be, but whatever. But that's it for this episode of News from the Pew, folks. Please like, subscribe, and share the News from the Pew, and push the notification bell on YouTube or on Rumble. I think Rumble's the future, folks. So if you're gonna watch us on Rumble, because Tim Pool just went over there with a big deal, and I think there's gonna be more people migrating.
With something he was getting paid by somebody. Was it
who? Pool?
Yeah, he got caught for doing something sketchy, and then he's calling out people for doing the same thing sketchy. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, I'm sure he did. I mean, that dude, he's got like 30 employees and 2 massive complexes. You don't do all that without, making some deals. So, and listen, good for him. Whatever. I don't care. If some of that USAID money wants to funnel down into Rickcast, I'll disclose it, but I'll take it. I'll take it, but I'll be nice enough to run a chyron across the bottom of the screen saying this show is sponsored by USAID. I don't care.
There was a link the other day that said that was it 5 years ago, USAID, I think, no, was it more than 5 years ago? That USAID was used to help build up Gaza.
Yeah. USAID funneled, that old shark, the one that's at like the 400-year-old shark. Apparently, USAID was paying to keep that thing alive too, like $37 million. So, USAID is World ID. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah. But all right, folks, we'll talk to you all next week on News from the View. God bless everybody.